Hey
guys, can you hear me?
I hear you. You hear me?
I got you, Jay. Greg?
Hey, you guys got me?
Got you.
Yep.
All right.
Waiting on Cody.
Okay.
Man, this has been a day. Let's see here. Duckalope, Chris, if you're still here, welcome. Live in Minnesota. Hey, buddy, how you doing? All the things acres, how y'all doing? It has been a cold, wet day for us. And I saw more ducks this morning than I have seen all year long. And unfortunately, I can't shoot.
Well, I tell you what, I came up from down south. I call it Lakeland, Florida. So I'm up here a little bit up north in the Fort Walton Beach area, and I'm about to freeze to death. Probably not the right thing to say, but it's about 45. And I'm a warm weather guy.
All the things acres, how you doing? Who's that behind you, Jay?
That would be Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Hey.
Hey, Josh.
I had to move rooms because
Well, I'm in a borrowed room right now. I'm up visiting friends. We had some, basically call them our grandkids, but our babies, they came to visit last week. So we're handing them back over to the parents and probably going to go sleep for about a week. It was a great week, though.
Cody says he'll be here in a minute. Joe Morgan, how you doing? Yep, there's two Bicknells in here trying to steal your castle. And hey, Patrick. We're just for those of y'all that are coming in, we're waiting on Cody from After 5. And when he gets in here, we're gonna start. So right now we just kind of chatting away. Yeah, we had today was the last day of the Veterans Active Duty / Federal Youth Hunt today.
Oh, wow.
It was a federal Youth Day today. And our state decided on the 2 federal youth days, which is the 6th and the 13th, that allow veterans and active duty personnel be able to hunt. So,
right.
And man, I busted out there this morning, 38 degrees, raining, saw a lot of ducks, had some come in, and I looked like a monkey with hooves. I couldn't shoot.
So where are you at?
Call me Matt. I'm Matt.
Where's that?
My name is Matt.
Matt, okay.
I am in South Carolina.
Okay. I was stationed at Charleston for about 6.5 years.
All right. Well, I'm right here at Shaw Field.
Okay. I know exactly where you're at.
Yep.
So
thanks for coming in. Andrew Walsh. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Okay. That's one of my guys. That's the secretary on my board. Hey, Andy. He's driving right now. He's the one that's coming to pick up his kids.
Oh, okay.
I got to talk good about him now that he's on.
Nah.
True stuff.
Oh. There we go. There's Cody. I didn't see you sneak in, buddy. I'm sorry.
How are you guys doing? Can you hear me and everything okay?
I can hear you.
Okay.
How you doing, Cody?
Good. How are you doing, sir?
Good.
I got you.
I hear everybody, but I'm getting a lot of hearing it like twice. It like repeats it.
Okay, are you on YouTube? Are you using YouTube?
I guess I am in YouTube.
Okay, do you have earbuds or headphones?
I do, yes.
Put those in. See if that helps. And if you got any other devices, turn them off because it'll mess you up.
Okay. Now I can see the chat.
Hey, Josh, you keep your daddy looking sharp out there, all right?
Okay. How's your weather down there in Kentucky, Jay? Uh-oh.
I think
lost my audio.
Jay, can you hear us? Nope, your audio's gone. I think he said something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't have the audio from either.
I don't have audio from him. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Can hear you now.
We can hear you now.
Okay, I still like I'm hearing everything twice. Is there a reason?
Do you have YouTube pulled up on your computer as well?
I do.
Okay, go to YouTube and then mute the YouTube feed,
Okay.
and then that will be gone. Are you dried out yet, Matt?
Just about.
Okay.
Man, I was soaking wet.
Well, don't fret too much because it's like 30 below here right now. So,
Hey, Tubby.
So where is the mute button on this?
it'll be the slider for your audio level. Like if you want to turn your volume up and stuff, it'll be the slider. Just turn it all the way, be to the left, I think, and that should mute it.
There we go. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
All right, we're good now.
Okay, I'm gonna get some I guess housework done real quick, and then we're gonna start. Tubby, you're my moderator tonight. If you could, I'm not gonna be paying attention to that much chat. So if you can just kind of watch it for me, I would greatly appreciate it.
We'll be back in 1 second.
All right.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, sir.
That's my first cousin, Greg, but I'm the good-looking Bicknell of the family. Just letting y'all know.
That's what I understand. I did background checks on everybody this morning. So
Okay.
Uh-oh. I may have to blink out for not so sure. Statute of limitations has been released on everything yet.
yeah, they're coming back. New administration, they're coming back.
That's right.
Okay, all right, guys. Those of y'all that are in here, I want to welcome everybody here. Looks like I got 13. If you haven't already, reach down below and hit that thumbs up button for me. It'd be greatly appreciated. So, we have sort of an announcement. We kind of made it a couple of weeks ago, but we're making it official tonight. Myself and Cody from After 5 have been invited to a turkey hunt, a special turkey hunt in Kentucky by the Bicknell Bunch. And it is with, if I hope I get it all right, Comaraderie Rescue Mission.
That's correct. Their go by name is the Comaraderie. Yep.
The Comaraderie. And good Lord, I don't forgot your name. Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Greg. Greg is the one that is pretty much in charge. I guess you're the one that's in charge of this. So I want to introduce you and thank you for coming. Greg Bicknell. And what I'd like for you to do is just kind of tell us a little bit about what you do and what this whole thing is about.
Okay, outstanding. So I'm already getting text on the side saying that I much have a face that's better for radio. So I appreciate all those comments. So I know folks are watching. So I'll kind of give you a little bit of background on this. So I've been looking to open a nonprofit, just to help people out for quite some time. Jay and I have talked about it in the past. And I was in the military for 29 years. I retired back in 2019. I was medically retired. And so as things had progressed, I was looking on my the Facebook page. And, when someone passes away in the military, you get that black line that goes across that, shows you that someone passed away. And at some point, there was 6 on my feed in my small population of people. Now, some of those had passed away by accident, but the other ones were no kidding. They had committed suicide. And I looked in and said, you know what, something's got to be done. And so I don't mean to start us here on a downer, but, our goal in the camaraderie is to end isolation and suicide one life at a time. So that's kind of our go by. That's what we're charging on to. And in that process and getting folks connected, it's just about the camaraderie. When you talk to military folks or talk to folks in general, and you worked in the police department or any other place, you say, what do you miss most about your job? I found that very seldom folks say, I miss the job. Folks will say, I miss my friends. I miss the camaraderie. And that's kind of what the spawn for this name was. And so Jay, he's been doing this hunt. He's done it a few times. And since he's my cousin, I reached out and told him I was taking over. I'm just kidding. But we set up this thing. We're going to start doing the hunts. Going to be an annual thing. This at some point will be my full-time job. Again, nonprofit. But I'm just looking to help folks. And as I will tell you what happened to me today. So I posted this out on Facebook. And within just a few minutes, I received a phone call from a friend that I've talked to a few times, but mostly haven't talked to him since high school. And he reached out to me and he said, hey, Greg, there's a friend of mine that's down there in your area that's really suffering from depression. He's having a rough time and going through some stuff. And I said, man, hook me up. Let me get his name. So that's kind of what this is all about, is taking this community that we have, taking this team like we're doing right now and the folks that are watching in, and really getting us reconnected, because with COVID and everything else, as we know, we've kind of closed up. We went back in our houses. We're not reaching out and talking to each other kind of like we used to. Folks are talking via like what we're doing right now. But this is great because this gets it out very quickly and it allows us to spread the message. So in the end, when it gets to be a full-blown and I'm at full time, there's going to actually end up being a retreat. And that retreat will be a 5-day retreat. That's our ultimate goal, about 4 times a year. And we'll bring in kind of like what we're doing for the hunt here in April. It'll bring wounded warriors in, and it could extend to it's going to extend to policemen, nurses, and folks that are just having some issues. And we'll bring them in. We'll have a week full of yoga. We'll have a week full of some learning tools, some leadership, some reaching out, connecting them with resources, and that's where we're going. And this started, as a dream for many, many years. Kind of was convinced even furthermore with what's been going on in the world. And then Christmas time, I was like, man, that's not good. There's a husband, a wife, a father, people are losing folks, and we're just not talking about it. And I want to start the conversation so we can have those honest conversations, no matter what rank you are, no matter where you sit in society, no matter what your position is. But if we don't start talking about it honestly and earnestly and looking each other in the face, I have a fear that it's not going to get any better. And that's what I'm here to do. That's what the Comaraderie Rescue Mission is here to do.
And I'd like to add to it a little bit, if you don't care.
No, go ahead.
So I'm a big supporter of military, huge supporter, which, Greg, me and him's been pretty close over the years. I'm glad it's probably good that we're not as like close as far as distance for where our houses are at, because we'd probably be in trouble a lot. But anyway, so about 7 years ago, I decided, I could never repay these guys that's went and fought for my freedom. So I was like, well, we'll do a wounded warrior turkey hunt, and that's how I got started. And then we went 6 years straight, and we usually have somewhere between 6 and 15 soldiers come and hang out with us for 3 or 4 days and turkey hunt. And so the last 2 years we haven't had it. One, I was sick whenever we were supposed to have it, and then this past year, COVID, Kentucky didn't allow out-of-state turkey hunters to come in, so we didn't have it. And pretty excited to get it going again this year, and and it's been a pretty amazing to meet these guys and to find out their stories. And the one thing that I can say about all these guys is, you kind of learn there's Joel getting in there, Matt.
Hey, Joel.
Is that hey, this is why we're the Bicknell bunch. We got 6 kids, so it's always crazy here. But anyway, you get to know their stories, and I say thank you for your service, and they always say, hey, that was my job. And my job, I hadn't been bullets flying at me, so I just think that it seems like every one of them you ever say that to, that's my job. And I know we got Greg and Matt here, military, and if there's anybody out there that's listening to military, thank you. I get to do what I do right here, and got kids all around me, and it's because people were willing to make that sacrifice and fight for our freedom. And I know, Greg, heck, you wasn't married, but a few months, and then off you went for 6 or 7 months. And then I think your first daughter was born, and then you were gone. She wasn't very old. I think you were gone, almost a year? Is that right? So
yeah, we had 9/11 happened. My daughter, so just to kind of give you a deal, my daughter was born in July 2001. I'm sorry. Yeah, July 2001. And then 9/11 happened, and we went off, with no indefinite orders, no return time. And you didn't really know where you were going. And, this was a daughter that we fought for to try to have for 5 years. And then it happened. And, but my wife, I will tell you this, that my wife supported me all the way. She actually said to me, we came out of church that weekend. A lot of folks went to church that weekend, right? And we went to our normal church. And as we were coming out, we're driving, and she started crying. And she looked over at me and she said, when are you leaving? And I said, I believe pretty soon. And I said, what would make you think to ask that question? And she said, well, I just wanted to make sure that since we have had our daughter, that you're still committed the way you always were, and don't back down from what you're supposed to be doing. And so that has stuck with me my whole life. My wife's my rock. My kids have kept me straight during the rough times. And it's been a rough couple of years. Like I said, I was medically retired out of the military. And, without them, I wouldn't even be sitting here right now. And that's part of why I want to give back, because a lot of folks have helped me out. And there's just some great folks out there that you got to meet. I would like to say one more thing, if you don't mind. So this last week, I got a chance to sit with some Air Force wounded warriors all week long. And I listened to their stories. And I will tell you what, I'm about out of tears. I'm about out of emotion. I'm totally spent, physically and mentally. Because of what I saw, I witnessed a lot of things that I needed to hear. And this week, it convinced me even more that this is where I need to be, and this is the way we need to go. Because I heard some stories that they were just amazing. And folks were giving it from their heart. Folks were telling things that some folks, including myself for the first time, I said stuff in the meetings last week that honestly I've never told a soul except behind closed doors. And even to those folks, I didn't say all of what I said this week. Great group of folks. If there was ever a camaraderie, the Air Force Wounded Warrior Ambassadors, man, they were absolutely amazing, and I want to give a shout out to them because they've changed my life.
Awesome, Cody, you got anything?
First of all, Jay, are you prior military? We've never discussed that.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm just a big fan of the military for all that they do. All the sacrifices. But no, I'm not military.
Right. Because basically the first thing that I want to say is to Matt and to Greg, my hat's off to you. Thank you for your service and all that you've done in the protection of our country. So that's what I've got.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Getting on just a little, Greg, this is our first time that I've seen you. It's the first time we've talked.
Right.
I talk to Jay probably 15 times a day via text message.
Yeah, I'll apologize for that.
Yeah, he's always texting me something about a cow or I don't know. One of the kids is doing something with a cow. I don't know what's going on, but it's Kentucky, so okay. So, and I do have a sense of humor, and it's a weird one. You have to understand, and I've said it before, so I don't have a problem saying it again. I am a United States Marine, and I'm a former police officer. So, I've got a weird sense of humor. But just a real quick question to you, Greg. Well, what was do you mind saying your rank? I
retired as a Chief Master Sergeant, so E9.
E9,
and
right?
I retired, yes, sir. And okay. I retired just short of 29 years.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Active duty.
Okay. Just so you know, I was a corporal. As far as I got, Marine Corps is kind of hard to get promoted in.
Yeah.
And of course, you do stupid things, you don't get promoted. So,
well, I won't tell stories on here, but there were times I was hoping I stayed promoted, so we won't talk about that.
I actually knew a gunnery sergeant. That was so proud, which is an E7 in the Marine Corps. He was so proud to get his gunny stripes that he had them tattooed to his arm. And the night he got them tattooed to his arm, he went out and got drunk and tried to get on base and got in a fight with the MPs at the gate. They took him up and they demoted him to sergeant. So they took 2 ranks away from him. So he went back to the tattoo shop, got a red circle with a slash through it.
That's funny.
He was a great guy. He got promoted back to staff within a year, but it was just a great guy. He just got lit.
And Matt, Matt, if you're ever down this way, I'll have you over. I have to go see if they got crayons over at Target. You can have something to snack on.
I need some. And, if you take a handful of sand and throw it at a wall and you'll hit the beach, I'll run right through it.
That's perfect. But hey, I do want to say something.
But you gotta understand. See, I was in the Marine Corps, and you were.
I was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a Marine.
You always know when people are in the Air Force because they never actually say it. They'll say, "No, I was in the military."
Oh, see, now you're cutting deep. But I do want to say something. Even with that stinging blow, even with that, well, you're right. I started it. So, hey, let me tell you something. You said something a minute ago that I want to make sure. You said I was only a corporal. In my opinion, man, thank you, because there is nothing to be ashamed about being a corporal, being a young airman, an A1C, a chief, whatever you are, colonel, lieutenant. Man, I tell you what, it's all service and it's all appreciated. And,
it is.
I appreciate what you did. I know you're probably just making jokes, but man, I'm proud. I'm proud of what you've done.
But now I do want to clarify something real quick. I know we're talking about bringing in guys that were in the military, whatever branch, law enforcement, first responders. But this is not, and we call them wounded warriors, but this is not the Wounded Warriors program. This is something that's totally different, correct? But I mean, all the same lines, but it's not the wounded, the title, I guess I'm trying to say.
So I'll tell you, with what I went through this week, I've offered up, and Jay and I talked about it, and I offered up 3 of the Air Force Wounded Warriors to come out. And so, there's a lot of folks that really need some assistance. And that's kind of the program that I'm part of now, is just no kidding, help folks get assistance. And it doesn't matter what rank you are or what branch you're in, but this is a Wounded Warrior hunt. It's more of a soldier warrior type hunt, because I don't know if they all have the official designation, but you know what? We're going to come out. We're going to get to know each other. We're going to have a lot of time to reach out and hug it out and maybe shoot some turkeys if Jay's guides will take us where we need to be. I'm not
one of the things we say here is we might not shoot a turkey, but we sure will shoot the bull.
Yeah.
So, and you will leave here about 10 pounds heavier. So, Matt, if you're still on the diet,
unless you feed Cody shrimp, I don't. He'll leave 10 pounds lighter. So,
no shrimp, Cody. No shrimp.
No shrimp for me.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, if I get 10 pounds heavier when I come out there for that week, I'm gonna have to buy some new pants. So I don't need to do that.
So one of the things too is like in the past I've used some different ways to because I got most everything in my county they donate. I mean, it's pretty cool. All the restaurants and stuff. I got kids fighting behind me here. This is normal day here, but the lodge we stay in, so we pay for that. And in the past, I've tried different organizations and different things. And so with Greg starting this is just a great, I think, combination. And that way, he's got the nonprofit, and that helps us to raise money through that direction. So then, I'm going to send the bill to him once. So
just like normal lunch, whatever it is.
Yeah. So,
whatever.
So, but I do want to say it's pretty cool where I live at. When I tell them that, hey, we're going to have a wounded warrior hunt, man, this county that I live in here in Kentucky, they just roll out the red carpet and they're like, how can I help? And all the food, I mean, it's crazy the amount of food that they offer up here from like the VFW and American Legion, and then all the little small restaurants. So it's a pretty neat deal. It's pretty patriotic here.
And so one thing with us, Matt, is we're a new organization. This is kind of a startup, and I want to make sure I'm clear. Right now, we're a charitable organization, so 501c3 paperwork. Still haven't got the official back, so it's not tax deductible yet, but it'll get there pretty soon. This was something, like I said, it started in January when I know kids started to put the wheels in motion, started spending my own money, and that gets pretty hot and heavy pretty quick. But what I'll tell you is, the government sometimes don't move as fast as we hope it would. But this charitable organization, every penny is going back. I don't plan on taking one dime. The board's not going to take one dime. It's already established. This is going to go straight to the camaraderie. So, I was blessed. I was blessed with a great military career, and good things have happened. And this is all going to go toward the folks that need our services and we can help out.
Real quick, one of the people in the chat, Patrick Irvin.
Yes.
And I'm gonna have to paraphrase because I lost his chat. It's way up there somewhere. But he mentioned, and I'm paraphrasing, the camaraderie between the services. And guys, if you came in and you may have heard me and Greg kind of joking with each other about the services, we can do that, and we do that, and Absolutely. It's all in good fun, and it's all it is in good fun. And because I know where he's been, he knows probably where I've been, and things I've done and things he's done, and it's just all in good fun. And Patrick was right. It's the camaraderie within the services. Oh yeah, we're gonna joke and pick on each other, but that's what we do. That's
right.
It's how we relieve a lot of stress. I've been there, and I know other guys that have been there. I spent 10 years in the Middle East, and things would happen, and I would joke about it. And people who weren't in the service just looked at me funny because that's the only way I could deal with it. And it's the same thing when I was in law enforcement. Something bad would happen, and you don't go out broadcasting these jokes, but you may pop one off in front of your buddies, and they understood it because it was a way to relieve that stress. It was a way to get it off your chest. And, they always say laughter is the best medicine. And so for those that were coming in and may have heard us kind of ribbing each other, that's what it's about. Me and Cody rib each other all the time about things. I'm not sure about Jay. He is from Kentucky, and they supposedly can shoot really well. So I'm not going to joke with him too much yet. But Cody, jump in anytime, buddy.
Is there a way that we can start trying to assist you in raising funds for this deal?
Absolutely. So Jay and I have been working. I think Jay has it. If Jay wants to forward it over to you, there's I built right now, like I said, it's through PayPal. Is something kind of quick. Things have been rolling quick. The official bank will be open. It's supposed to be getting taken care of this weekend. But through the PayPal, again, I've got a separate one set up. It's under so it's Greg B at the Comaraderie.org. And then there's a website to it. So I'm going to try to link this in to see where you guys can get a look, unless Jay maybe has access and he can do it. Let me see what I can do.
And if you'll text me the information, I will put it in the description below after we finish the live stream.
And I think we could probably pretty easily make a video about it too. We've got time, spend a couple weeks working on something and make a video and try get some. I know there's a lot of people that always like to be involved and help out no matter where it is in the country. I'm in Minnesota. You guys are in Kentucky, and Matt's in South Carolina. But I think there's always someone that's wanting to help out or willing to help out monetarily, and we'll see if we can drum up some funds for that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I just dropped the link in the private chat, and that's the one to the site. If you click on it, it comes up. It basically you'll see my our logo, and then you'll see Comaraderie Rescue Mission Incorporated, the startup. So the link is in the private chat. If you want to share that, I would appreciate it. Like I said, this is just this is a dream. This is something I'm very passionate about. And honestly, it's going to get done. It just has to. We've got to start those conversations, the tough conversations, not the softballs.
Right.
And, I'm hoping to be the one to maybe at least help kick that off.
No, Matt, I cannot write in the chat. You're able to, aren't you?
Yeah, I can write in the chat. I'm just not seeing it where it popped up.
Go to private chat alongside comments on the StreamYard feed, and then go to private.
Wait a minute. All right. Let's see here. All right. So, am I still here?
Yep. Well, part of you is.
Let me see if I can do this. Copy comments. I'm just going to put it in chat. Paste.
And Greg, are you planning on doing? Are you planning on? Yep, it's there.
Okay, so guys, if you're interested in a donation, click on that link, and y'all know what to do. I don't mess with PayPal, but I'm just computer stupid. So I was in the Marine Corps, computer stupid. I think we lost Greg. Lost his audio.
I think his mic's turned off, huh?
Oh yeah, I had some folks knocking at the door. Like I said, Andy is on the way here, and a few of his littles were banging on the door, so had to go mute for a second. But it's been a great week with them. It's been so much fun. So love having them around.
Greg, do you have a YouTube channel too that people can subscribe to get updates and stuff?
So I don't yet, but I'm going to be honest with you. I do have I'm going to make I've been using a test case there on Facebook, Comaraderie Rescue Mission. It's a private group, but I'm going to go live with that this weekend, and then bring it up there. Honestly, we were just, our logo came in, had some fantastic work done on that. Some things have been happening really quick. And so it'll go live this weekend. If you look at it, it'll just be Comaraderie Rescue Mission, Incorporated. And then the camaraderie, like I said, is what our go by name will be. But we'll set that up, and I can probably make it go public right now. There's been a lot of chat, like I said, over the last little bit inside of there, just trying to get everything worked out, the bylaws and all of that for the submission. Right. And so I kind of kept it private for a bit, but it'll go live this weekend for sure. Comaraderie Rescue Mission, and the donation link will be there, and look for the website.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Right.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because between Jay, myself, and you, Matt, 2,500 subscribers that we could reach out to, we could each make a video, talking about it coming up here, and hopefully get some people involved. And I mean, who knows who may see it or whatever and get behind it, so that would be the goal.
Yeah, that'd be great, and we've already had an outpouring. There's been some folks that are looking to donate and, kind of get stuff going, material things of that nature. But, the real part we have going now with Jay is there's some stuff that, we want folks to walk away with. So I'm getting some stickers printed, some T-shirts, some sweatshirts, some hats, and all of that stuff. And every dime of the profit that comes from that will go directly to the Comaraderie Rescue Mission. So again, I don't plan on taking any. I'm the president of it. I founded it, and I don't plan on taking a dime out of the camaraderie. And I'm not going to. Let me put it that way. Not that I don't plan to. I'm not going to. And you can take that to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And
now,
go ahead.
This is you guys have done this hunt before, right?
I've done this for about 6 years now. There was 2 years. Well, last year because of the COVID, and the year before I was a little sick, so we couldn't do it. But we've done it 6 years, and we've been in the past. And we're going to team it up. It's the Kenton Bray Memorial Hunt. He's a boy here, and I live in Estill County in Kentucky, but he's a boy that he'd went over in Iraq, and I don't know. They said he got into something like that. I can't. But anyway, he come back over here, and he died in the VA. And so we started in memory of him, and now it's going to be, we're teaming up with doing the camaraderie. But that's, I think we were about 6-7 years that we've been doing it. So and something else that was really neat is like I've met a lot of great guys, over the years, and one I believe it was our second hunt. Met him. He actually rents a house from my wife's grandfather, and he lives down the road. He comes from Tennessee, and I keep up with a lot of the guys. And and I say this: one of the biggest honors of doing this is a couple of those guys. They call me brother. I mean, every time they call me, they're like, "How you doing, brother?" To me, that is one, great honor to fall. To hear that. So, and all of our guides, like all my guides, like, they're all volunteers, take off work to do it. They're a bunch of great guys, and they end up, making a good connection with the soldier they're with. And usually it ends up they're, lifelong friends. They all keep in touch with each other. And so it's been an awesome, the 6 years that we've done. It's just been, I guess, not being in the military. You really don't. You hear about it, but you don't really know what these guys go through. But when you really get to know a lot of them, and you spend a lot of time with them and stuff, it's just, I guess it makes you appreciate them even more. And like the guy that lives down the road from me, when it gets real cold, because he's got so much metal in him, he says he's got more hardware than a hardware store. he don't get out of the house. It gets, we get down in the teens. He's in the house the whole time because he hurts so bad. But yes, we've been doing this for 6 years. Six years, but we missed 2. But now we'll be going back.
Okay.
I personally can't wait. I'm very excited. I was kind of glad that today for me, was the last day of the duck season because of the veterans and active duty hunt today. But I was glad it was over with, so I can start getting ready for turkeys. And I'm going to start it up. I'm going to start it off up there with y'all. So I can't. Honestly, I just can't wait. And to meet everybody. I was talking to my wife a little while ago, and she asked me what my goal was up there. And I said, honestly, if I can shoot one turkey, just one, and meet everybody and talk to them, that was my goal. That's what I want to do. Just sit down and have conversations with everybody there.
Hey, Matt, you get to meet the president.
Yeah.
And then the vice president, he's over here.
He's rocking that mullet.
Yeah. So you get to meet the president and vice president of the fan club.
That's just so funny.
Are we sure they know that, Jay?
What's that?
Are they your fan club? Whose fan club are they for?
No, they're not my fan club.
Okay, I just want to make sure we got that clear.
Yeah, it was the way I guess me and Matt kind of got in connected was I come in one day and the boys are like, "Hey, check out Daddy Duck 365," and then somehow we got connected, and then the boys, like they say they're the president and vice president of Daddy Duck 365 fan club. So, and then Matt sent them I think a sticker and then a little letter signed, which I think it's hanging up in the room.
Yeah.
So on the wall. So that's how we kind of got connected, and then met Cody through Matt. So, and I will say, like, looking at all the people that's on here, it's a really good group of people, and I've kind of met all of them. I guess it started with Matt, and now, it's kind of grown, and we started the YouTube channel just kind of something fun. You got 6 kids. It's always crazy. So this is one way to, I guess, we can do stuff and video it and things. And now all the people that I met, it's just been it's a pretty cool thing. So.
Mm-hmm.
You don't ever quite, when you meet folks and you meet good, good people, it sticks with you, and as you travel around, it doesn't take but a couple seconds to realize I'm going to hang out with that guy, or I'm probably going to avoid that person or that lady at all costs. And, and that's kind of the folks that you kind of see those things with. I'm not going to hang out. Well, maybe that's the folks that need the most help. Maybe that's the folks that just are quiet or shy or maybe standoffish, and that's one of the things I'm looking at, because I'm going to tell you, I've went through the gambit of emotions and the gambit of what I've seen, and there's been times in my career where I'm like, we got to get the mission done. We've got to get this knocked out. But I look back on some of that and I say, you know what? I probably should have pumped the brakes a little bit. And I'm getting the opportunity to do that again. And I'm going to take advantage of it. And I think there's a lot of folks out there that just have you don't want to look like, you turned in your man card or your woman, or whatever. And when you start talking about some of these hard subjects, for me, I had to, I've talked about them. When you start talking about that, it's hard. You start talking about the words of suicide and PTSD and all the things and isolation and not coming out. I hope that this reaches folks, because I want to be able to have those open and honest conversations. Right. Because I think it's required, not just needed at this point.
And that's what I'm talking about when, what my goal is when I get there is to talk to them, because I've been through it and I'm still going through it.
Yeah.
There are days. I mean, I know that everybody thinks I'm happy and jovial and cut up and have the weirdest sense of humor, Cody found that out firsthand. I mean, when a fat man starts dancing and singing while we're duck hunting, you know there's something's up. But I mean, I have my days free time.
And I'll tell you a story about, because I got the guides that volunteer to help us. You know, they're awesome. But we had a guy, and he was an Army Ranger, and I guess he got hurt pretty bad, his arm, and he was real when he arrived. He was real like standoffish. And I had these two boys that were guiding, and I was like, I'm putting him with them because either they'll have him laughing or he'll kill them. That's that was where we were at. And by the time it was over, because them two, I mean, they wouldn't shut up. You know, they aggravated him, and they got to having fun. He wasn't really talking, but by the time we were done, you know, it was just great. You know, he was talking, and we all kept up. They keep up with him, I think, still today. And you know, not being in the military, but what I've learned over this is talking and even like getting Greg and Matt and all of you military together talking. I guess that is something that I found seems to be it helps these guys a lot. So.
Jay, you're an honorary, in my book, you're an honorary Airman Basic. So congratulations. You have no stripes, some authority as long as you ask permission first. And
that's the way it is here too. So I'm good with
that. Just laying that out there.
Yeah.
So, I'll tell you something just real quick. I've said that a few times now. I got to quit saying it because it's not real quick. The one thing about our program that we're really hoping to do is that we're going to do, not hope. Hope's not a plan, and is the aftercare. So once they come through and they go through some of our services and we have the conversations, we go out in speaking engagements and meet them where they're at. You know, that's important. You can't always have them come to you. You got to meet folks where they're at and then follow up. I think that's the part for me is people transition out of the military. Matt, you may have experienced this, and you get great service on the way through. And then once you get out, all of a sudden you're sitting there, you're thinking, man, what do I do now?
Oh yeah.
You know, or the police department, probably the same thing. You get out and say, what do I do now? And so the goal is to connect people. So when we're looking and we're chatting, that we get on a channel like this, maybe there's 100 of us, maybe at one point there's 1,000 of us, and we're all sitting here chatting, and we break out in our own little breakout rooms and just work through some things that we need to work through as a country.
Yeah. I mean, when I got out of the Marine Corps, it was a shock. I mean, I thought I wanted to get out, and then when I did, it was a total shock. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I mean, I was working, don't get me wrong. I mean, I went straight to work, but I didn't have, and Greg, I think you probably can relate to this more than anybody, but I didn't have that camaraderie in where I was working. You know, it gradually built up to something, but I could go from base to base and automatically I knew what these guys were about. They knew what I was about. You know, when I quote unquote became a civilian, because I never have considered myself one, even today. I don't, but I'm a veteran, you know, and I think there's a difference. But I just didn't know what I was going to do. I mean, and I was lost.
Well, I was lucky enough to go to a company down in Lakeland, and you mind if I mention their name because they've really done a lot for me. So, Drocken International, we do combat air support, and this is not a plug for them. This is just telling you that our company. I think the last I heard was about 85% military. So I left the military and went into a place that was basically military, but we were all in civilian clothes.
Right.
And folks' mindsets were like they were I was used to. So my transition was probably a little easier than most because I went to a company that's, what they do is just really cool. I tell people all the time, it's kind of like you're the aggressor squadron in Top Gun. That's what we do.
Right.
We provide red air to pilots. And it's just amazing. Great company to work for. We do work and we do put in the hours and we have a mission to do, and you've got a bunch of like-minded people that make that mission happen. And it's just amazing to see still, But I just wanted to give them, because they gave me an opportunity what I wasn't sure, I wasn't sure coming out of the military what I was going to be able to do. I wasn't sure where I was at, and just getting medically retired, I didn't really know.
1 second real quick. Cody, take over. I need to make a break.
Okay.
So I'll be right back, guys.
You're in trouble now. You're going to have 10 subscribers when you get back.
Yeah.
So what is your vision 5 years from now for this project? What do you want it to look like?
So, I jokingly said to somebody the other day, I hope where we get big enough and help enough people that Gary Sinise is asking us for a donation. And so that's my vision. I don't think small, but what I think of when I say that is not, oh, look how big we are. It's, man, if we're that big, look at how many people we can help.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily helping. It's that assist. Everybody has those rough days. I used to have a friend of mine used to say, you get 300 and I think it was, if I can do quick math, 353 days a year, you got to have a good day, but the other 12, you get 12 days a year. And why is that? You get one bad day a month, and some people have more than that. I'll be honest with you. I do. So I will tell you, my morning didn't start off very well. It's raining. I had a migraine when I woke up. I've been taking plenty of meds, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to come on here tonight, but through the grace of God and some good meds and some family that's taking care of me and let me, take it easy, I'm here. So it's not always easy, but it's been a rough day, but I'm feeling pretty good right now. So with all the caffeine and stuff I have in me, be lucky to go to sleep this evening.
I think this is just an opinion. I guess my status isn't totally civilian, but I am not prior military. But I do think that people from the military, I guess I'm going to be pretty blunt and say I think it's a travesty that more money is spent on social programs and things like that than it is for our own veterans to come back from overseas or from wherever they are, and their issues are not dealt with appropriately, in my opinion. And I think, how does that, I guess that's a bigger statement or question than what we're dealing with, but there's just not enough services for the people that are coming back. And I think that it's someone has to lobby for some change in that.
And from my standpoint is, I think, man, you're going to make me get political on my very first time on YouTube here. Man, I can't believe you did that. Good setup. Man, that stings. But what I'll tell you is, I sit through some stuff this week, and there's programs out there also that folks just don't use. It's not because they refuse to. Some folks just don't know about it. And, for me, when I was going through my transition, I had folks reach out to me and say, hey, Greg, did you know about, like I said, Air Force Wounded Warrior? Or actually, my counselor signed me up for it and said, hey, here's what we're going to do. And they've been fantastic. My recovery care coordinator, they've been absolutely amazing. And even through getting this started, I reached out after not talking to them for a year and a half. And they started connecting me with people. They started connecting me with empowerment and transition and all these different locations. So I think that's kind of where I'm at on some of this. Is I'm going to push for what's needed, but I'm also going to work within what we already have and make sure folks understand exactly what services are out there and available to them. Mm-hmm. Because there's stuff all the time. I get questions or a feed. Hey, I need some assistance with housing. Well, there's programs out there for that. If you're a veteran and you're down on your luck, I can't quote what they are, but sometimes it's just about asking the question. And that's where I messed up personally, Greg Bicknell, because I always wanted to be that tough guy and said, you know what, I'm not going to give up my man card. I'm not going to ask those questions because, hey, I'm the chief. I'm not going to do that. Well, that's nonsense. I should have asked more. And when I sit and talk to people and I tell them, hey, look, this is something where I messed up. You got to ask those questions. You can't be tough guy all the time. And that's something that you have to deal with. And as a society, I will go a little political on that, but as a society, sometimes, we have that tough guy image. I'm going to speak for myself on this. And, but I didn't want to ask. I just didn't. I didn't want people to think less of me. When I was going through stuff post-surgery, brain surgery, my family didn't want to ask for help because they didn't want anybody to think less of me, because they were afraid that if folks saw it and heard about it, that they'd be like, oh man, I don't want to, what's the chief now? He's damaged goods. And we got to get over that. They needed to ask for help. And after I retired, I realized just how much I was focused on me, and I kind of left them behind. And that's wrong. And a lot of times we focus on the service member. There's also spouses and children and families out there that also need a little bit of assistance sometimes. And, those aren't forgotten. My wife is on board with all this, and that's going to be one of her focus points is the spouses, not just the veteran, because you know what, man, I put mine through a pretty hard time with recovery and some of the things that, I'm a different person. You have brain surgery, you're a different person. And the way that you come out on the other side, I'm just telling you, I wouldn't be sitting here today if I didn't have this network that I have. A lot of things that I've said in last week's meeting, I've went through the stuff. I've had I can't believe I'm saying this on air, but, I've had a gun to my head.
Yeah.
And you can't, and people talk about, that's a crazy way out or you're being selfish. You know what? You don't know that until you're in that situation. At the time you're in the situation, all you're thinking about your family. And you think that's a heroic thing to do because the best option that you can come up with is to let them be, and maybe they'll get some insurance money.
Mm-hmm.
That, and yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, honestly, I can, from my heart, I know exactly what you're saying. And you love your family so much that you feel that they would be better off without you involved because of what you're going through and what I've been there, man. I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, I know exactly. I just can't put it in words right now, but I know exactly what you're saying.
I will tell you, I hit a lot of stuff. I've hit a lot of stuff for a long time. And it's time for me to start talking about it because I got a chance to reach out and help folks that seen and did the same thing that I've done, that are going through some of the same emotions. And, I was at 28 years of my career. I was at the highest, I'd gotten promoted up to a chief. I was in the job I always wanted. And then I had surgery, and all I could really do for a while was sit in my house, kick back with, kind of drooling on myself, watching a TV that wasn't even on. Folks, I didn't reach out for help, and my family didn't want to reach out for help. And nobody knows this. This is a revelation to some folks that's probably going to be watching this. Because my family, Jay didn't know what was going on. We didn't talk about it. Jay probably just heard this for the first time. And Jay and I are very tight. But I love my family, but I was so focused on myself. And my daughter, we tried for 5 years to have my oldest daughter, and we finally had her back in 2001, the one right before 9/11. And what I'm going to tell you is I don't remember her last year of high school because I had surgery that summer before. And I don't remember it. And I don't remember it. And I'll never be able to get that time back. I was a different person. I got upset, and people go through that. I had someone tell me the other day, and I'm going to leave you with this. I had someone tell me, and they were saying it in the best interest of their, that they could say. And they said, this group, they like what you do, but they don't work with you all the time. And that's what we go through as veterans. That's what we go through with folks that maybe have some issues that you don't see on the outside. Is that we can be great. I can sit here right now and put this mask on, man, and I can rock it. I can walk around smiling ear to ear. But when the door closes and you're there by yourself, people don't know what that's like.
Yeah. And
it's something.
And I do want to say this, and I know we've been talking a lot about the military, but as a former first responder, as a former cop, regardless of my military background, they go through the same things. And I just want to throw it out there for anybody that's listening that you don't know what that law enforcement officer, what that fireman, what that paramedic has seen in their course of business.
Very true.
And they are hurting as well. I I went overseas for 10 years as a private contractor, and I was an instructor, and I did PSD work. Okay. And I saw some things and did some things. And yet there's none that I can find, no programs that I'm aware of, because it's just not been given out, even for the so-called civilian contractors who have seen and done things. It's they're being swept under a rug, so to speak. And this is why that's why I'm so excited about this, and not just the turkey hunt. Okay, yes, I do want to go out and turkey hunt, but it's not just about the turkey hunt. It's about connecting with guys that I know what they went through. I know what I've gone through, and we can sit down and talk, and hopefully hash out some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard. It's hard to talk about it. I mean, it just is, and we've got to get over that. We just do, and that's why I've decided somebody's got to start talking. Why not me?
Exactly.
And and I think on my side of things, like where we get like these guides involved that are civilians, it's never been in the military. I think that helps, like us see what you all what you go through, and that I believe that's like helpful to us, especially you get that one-on-one, a guide and the hunter or a wounded warrior, and get to talking. It really, I mean, I say I walk away after one of these hunts. I've always walked away with more. I feel like I walked away with more than probably the soldier did, just because, you see what happens. Like I know one guy, he's had shoulder surgery, got a hip replacement coming, and it was all just related to having to carry a rucksack and all that stuff. So I think that it works two ways, So.
Okay.
I would agree.
Greg needed a break, and that's cool because we all do it time to time. All right. Well, don't need no dead space. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm like I said, I can't tell you how excited I am to get there and hang out. If nothing else, just to hang out.
I'm looking forward to it as well. Meet a lot of people and expand the network of people that I'm beginning to meet. Looking forward to it. So,
sorry, I had to take a moment there, guys.
You're good.
Not a problem, bro.
Right, man.
You take all the moments you need.
Well, I'll tell you, you talk about the contractors. This isn't just for military. This is about us, the collective us.
Right.
Whether you're, and the military is what I know best. Yeah. And sometimes when you start something, and you don't go to try to learn how to ride a bike by jumping on a Harley.
Right.
And for me, the military community is what I know. It's what I've been involved with 29 years of my life, and I'm still, like I said, with the company, still very military isk type stuff. And I'm not going to turn anybody down.
Right.
We're just not.
Hey, I'm reading backwards there about the police. It says people don't consider they are first to arrive after someone is killed. Motherfucker. I just, and I like that this is going to open up to the police, and I guess this might be a little political here, but the police is this day and time, man. It seems like it's tough to be a police officer, and they're always the ones that I'm calling. They're running in while everybody else is running out, and I couldn't imagine, we're not having police officers. Can you imagine how crazy it would be? And I worked as a deputy jailer for like 2 years, and I have no idea how a police officer does that job. When they were bringing in, prisoners, utmost respect for the police, for the stuff they have to put up with, the way they get talked to by a prisoner and stuff. It's just awesome. But I just want to say I love police. They're awesome.
Oh yeah. I've had the privilege, and I call it an honor, to experience not only the military but law enforcement, and as a civilian contractor. And I knew guys that did all three. I knew guys that just did two. I knew guys that did just one. And it never seems to surprise me all the time that how much in common we have with each other and things we've done, seen, and here I'm getting nervous. I'm playing with my beard. So, I'm going to make it curl here in a minute. Next thing you know, I'm going to start braiding this thing up and, but,
you'll do anything for views, won't you?
I'll do anything for views, man. I need views, guys. Views. But no, this is not about me tonight. This is not about me tonight. This is not about Cody and After Five. This is not about the Bicknell Bunch. This is not about Greg and Comaraderie. This is about guys who need help, and we need to talk to them and help them. And this is what this is about tonight. And I'm all for that.
Well, good. I think there's a lot of good out there in the world, even through all the other stuff that we see. And I think just reaching out, at some point, sometimes folks just need a hug. Sometimes folks just need a voice. Sometimes folks just need to have someone that can sit there with them and not do anything but shut up and listen. And
look, 20 years ago, you would have never seen two men hugging each other because they hadn't seen each other in a while. You'd have never seen that. It always been a handshake. I got a handshake from Cody and a hug in about the same 3 seconds when I first met Cody. So, and some people are, what? And I'm like, you don't understand a brotherhood. And it's hard to explain that to people who have never done it, and I'm trying not to say too much, but there's a brotherhood there, and we need to get our brothers together and help them, period.
I do. If you don't mind, I want to tell a little bit of a background on Greg, since he's getting it started. I think you're 4 years older than me. So, but like
really? Dang!
Oh, that
you look like you're 110, Bo.
Oh, thank goodness that went the right way in my favor.
But I'm prettier than him. So anyway, but
I want to get invited next year. I don't care.
But he's probably one of the most driven guys that I know. Like when he played football, he might not have been the biggest guy on the field, but pound for pound, he was the strongest, probably the hardest working guy on the field. And then, he goes straight into the military and then, retires as high as you can retire. So no doubt what he's got started right now. And I'm just glad that he, called me to be a part of it. It's going to be a success because, I've seen him over the years and just driven and at the football field, because I watched him play and stuff. He was in the weight room when nobody else was, and I remember his older brother. He'd always say that pound for pound, Greg was the strongest guy on the field. So, and then in the military and different things I've seen him over the years, he is driven. So, there's no doubt that this is going to be a huge success.
Real quick, I need to change something up just a second. Mm-hmm. Jay, this is for your kids that are sitting on your lap.
They're all around me right now. They're everywhere.
Mountain Dew Zero. Not a sponsor, but could be.
Mountain Dew.
And another thing about Greg, it don't matter if you see him at 6 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock in the morning. If he's asleep, there's a Diet Mountain Dew in his hand.
Yeah, that's a true statement. Unfortunately, yeah, or fortunately.
Mine's either a Mountain Dew Zero or a sweet iced tea. One or the other.
My wife always tells me to drink more water, and I try to convince her that there's water in Mountain Dew, but somehow that seems to always turn against me.
Yeah. Yeah, Backwoods said something a little bit earlier, and I'm just going to repeat it. I'm going to see if I can't do what here we go. I'm just going to pop that right there. And can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Sometimes folks just
And there's a lot of truth in that.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
There is so much truth in there that it's not even funny. And, you know, I don't know if anybody in here, and I don't even know who's all in here. So I'm not really watching chat that much, because that's what I wanted tonight to be, was a conversation between four guys, and and just talk, about what we're going to be doing.
I like you saying weird, because this is, and I like what you're doing. I tell you, I'm just honestly am humbled by the fact that y'all even allowed me to come in. A guy you didn't know, and then here we are. I feel like we could hang out right now, which
Right.
we have been. But I can't wait. I can't wait for the hunt, because I get to meet y'all in person.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Me too.
And I also get to see Jay again. So yin and yang.
Yin and yang.
I won't lie. Another added benefit is it's probably going to be a heck of a lot warmer down there than it is where I'm at.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
right now here we've got a nice crust of ice over everything, and they're saying 2 to 3 more inches of ice, snow coming Monday. So, but it's still better than 30 below zero. I can handle, like, no electric. I got plenty of wood. 30 below zero. It just don't sound fun to me.
Now,
30 don't sound fun to me.
Let me just throw this out there. Maybe possibly in the future. Now, would you be willing to, and this question is for Greg, use what you're doing and do something, let's say like an ice fishing trip somewhere?
Absolutely.
And I mean, I think, that would be kind of a neat deal. I mean, if you could grow this into many different locations, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Well, that's the goal. I will tell you that, the support from folks, I'm getting folks, sending me emails and texts and stuff from all over the country. So that's one great thing about being in the military. There's a lot of great things, but that's probably one of the best, as we talk about the camaraderie. And I still keep up with a lot of folks, and they from all around. I'm getting messages back saying, "Man, whatever you need," and the folks are saying that I know they'll give me whatever I need, because that's who they are. And yeah, absolutely. I want this thing to grow, because I don't want it to be an East Coast, West Coast thing. I want it to be a U.S. thing. I don't want it to be just Texas or Florida or Kentucky or South Carolina. This camaraderie is about the whole team. It's about us. And I think these tough conversations will definitely start. They'll start opening doors and start opening people's minds and start letting us look at each other a little bit differently. And when folks are frustrated, we'll start responding to it differently. I've had a problem with that, throughout my career. Folks will be ticked off. I'm like, okay, cool. When is we got something you got to do here in like 5 minutes? Let's get through this. And that's not, I've learned that wasn't the right way for me at times, and it's probably not the right way for others. But there's a lot of folks out there that I love, and there's a lot of folks out there that have taken care of me in good times and in bad. And, the camaraderie, Comaraderie Rescue Mission, the camaraderie is literally what we all miss. And I think we got to bring that back.
Hey, Cody, if it's an ice fishing trip and the ice castle's involved, then I'm going to have to find some way to be there. So
you're absolutely invited.
Yeah.
It may not be an ice castle brand, but it will be the same type of, that's something that I think a person could really, a lot of people would really get behind up here, because we do have a lot of veteran things here. Even in my hometown, there's a branch of Veteran Outdoors and stuff. They do hunts and stuff like that.
Awesome.
It would be interesting to, just to see what could happen.
I think we can make it happen. It may be something that's in the future, but it's definitely something to plan to.
Right.
And as you were saying that, though, I was trying to figure out, you told me how cold it was up there earlier. I was trying to figure out if I can actually ice fish with as many clothes on as I think I'm going to need for the weather and the temperatures you were just talking about a few minutes ago. I'm not sure. I look like the kid on Little Giants, and I won't be able to move. I have to have somebody hold it for me.
It's 70 degrees inside the ice house.
I'm a big fan of the ice castle. That's what I was telling Cody about, because there's Living MN has this ice castle that I absolutely love. Right. I mean, I see them, they're like in shorts and t-shirts ice fishing. So I could roll that way.
Now,
right.
Yeah.
I don't know much about ice fishing, but if it's 70 degrees inside a house, I'm going to be afraid that thing's going to melt through.
No.
And that's what scares me to death. I'm not a big fat butt floundering around in the ice.
Matt, I trusted you to take me out in a swamp full of snakes and gators. You're going to have to trust me to take you out on a lake covered in ice.
You wait till you come down during the summer.
So what are you going to feed him, Cody, if he comes up that way? I mean, he gave you shrimp, so I'm wondering.
I've got some ideas.
And Greg, if you don't know, Cody went hunting with Matt, and Matt fed him some shrimp, and then I guess Cody just about died. So
I think that was an experiment.
I have never seen anybody have that kind of reaction to shrimp ever in my life. Because me and my wife are fine. I mean,
yeah, it about killed me.
Shrimp doesn't like me much either. So I'll tell you a quick story. Is we were eating at this sushi joint when I was back in. Maybe the problem is I was eating sushi in Missouri, but anyway, we won't go into that. But we were having it, and actually the house that I'm at right now, I'm up in Florida right now visiting a friend, and we were sitting there eating it, and I don't know, he had some octopus or I don't know what it was, but I tried a bite of it, and I started cramping, and I'm sitting there stretching and trying to do stuff, and then my hamstring started cramping. So I'm in the middle of a restaurant, it looked like I'm over there trying to stretch out for a run, and I'm squalling and I'm turning sideways. And all they're doing is laughing at me. So, because I'd have been laughing at them, but they're really, really, and finally I was like, I got to go outside, because I didn't want to be sitting there, because it really looked like I was having a real big problem. And luckily one of my guys that worked with me, he walked outside and said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I appreciate it." But they'd all seen me do this before, so it was no big deal. I just realized that I can't eat that stuff anymore. But that was awful.
I'm going to go with me and Matt have rock guts, and nothing's going to bother us. Right, Matt?
I'm trying to figure out what a lutefisk is.
Lutefisk?
Yeah. Is it, how you pronounce it?
Lutefisk.
Lutefisk.
It's a Scandinavian, I believe it is lingcod. I think is what its technical.
Is that dehydrated stuff that
smells?
No. Do you know what it is, Greg?
I believe I do. It smells really bad, right?
Right. Yep. You know what it is then.
I know what it is. Yeah, the smell is enough for me.
I have to tell you, I did try it a couple of years ago, and it is actually not that bad. I would eat it over shrimp any day.
Really? I'm not sure. I'm having some bad flashbacks right now.
My daughter went over there. That's some of them Scandinavian countries. I forget which one, but she brought me back some fish jerky. And as much as I love my daughter to death, that was the nastiest thing I ever smelled in my life. I wasn't going to eat it. I just said, nope. I've eaten some crazy stuff, you know, especially in the Middle East, but that stuff stunk. That thing needed to be in the ground. Need to be planting tomatoes over that thing.
I'm going to step out for just a second and take the dog out real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
Hey, and well, he just left, but I'm going to have to get going. I've got some, I won't say this loud, but I got some Valentine's Day shopping to do. So, you know, like many other guys, I'm just reminding y'all that tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so you're welcome. But I've got to go and take care of some of that right now. Hopefully I didn't say it loud enough for these earbuds in for my wife to hear. So I love her to death.
No, hey, don't worry, Greg. I'll let her know where you're going.
I'm sure you will.
Well,
So,
Greg,
this has been great, Matt. I absolutely love it. I
enjoyed having you. And if you want to do this again, you got my number. You should have my number in the texts we were sending each other. Shoot me a text or call me or what have you, and let me know. We can you know, do this up until we, you know, just keep, because usually my live streams are on Monday nights. So a lot of people don't know that I'm doing this tonight. So if you want to do it again, just let me know, and we'll get it done.
Yeah,
hey,
I'd
Greg,
love to do it. Yeah.
Before you leave, I was supposed to ask you this like maybe 2 weeks ago. Are you coming to the wedding?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That way I can pass that on to the boss.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're coming. So, but anyway, again, Matt, I appreciate it, Jay, and then you can tell. So, it's been awesome. So it was great.
Right,
like the comment said, 4 guys just talking life. So that's what it's all about. Can't beat it.
Well, I appreciate you coming in. I also appreciate what you're doing, and can't wait to shake your hand come April.
All right. Well, I'm giving you a hug. I don't care about COVID, so we're going in.
What? I'm sorry. What did you just that word? I'm not.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't want to start a political conversation. I'm out.
I got run out of the CVS this morning, so
I'm out. I'm out.
See you, Greg.
We'll talk to y'all later. Great stuff.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming in.
All right. Thank you. Bye. Bye, boys.
Yeah. Hey, Matt.
Yes, sir.
I guess you've seen the Ross there that the boys.
The what? Oh yeah. You should. Yeah, that looks like a Ross's goose.
It was. We'll probably have a video coming out on it, but there was a couple of Canada geese on a pond of my dad's, and we seen them, so they were going to jump shoot them, and there was actually like a blue phase. There was 2, and which I was like, shoot the snows.
Yeah.
We do not we see very, very few. I mean, it is rare, and I would have bet the house that there had never been any snows or anything on that pond like that. So it was pretty neat this afternoon.
That's awesome. Yeah, I went this morning and it started to rain on me, and all the guys that were supposed to hunt with me today canceled because of the rain. So I was by myself this morning, and every bit of video that I got today, you can't see it because I had my GoPros in a waterproof container, the little waterproof thing you put on your head, and it fogged up. So all you see is it's just everything looks like it's blurry. I shot 3 down, and all 3, I don't know where they went. I know that 2 of them went into some cut grass or sawgrass, and I think they dove on me because I searched and couldn't find them. And it was just, I hate it when that happens.
I do know one thing now that season's like out. We went driving by areas close to where we hunt. There is mallards everywhere, every pond, and ponds that we had permission to hunt on, but just never did see anything. They were covered today too. So
Cody's back.
It's cold out there.
Cody, Greg had to leave. He had to go do something.
Okay.
He wanted to say goodbye and thank you and whatnot, but he had to leave. So,
well, I hope we can get him back sometime.
Yeah, I extended the invite. Anytime, all you do is call us.
And I want to say I appreciate both of you for helping us out with this and getting this thing going. It's pretty awesome. And like I said, all these, I get on your all's lives all the time, and there is a super group of people on here, and I just enjoy every time y'all go on. And maybe you'll see us do some lives if I can get all these crazy kids to just be still for like more than 5 minutes.
I used to give mine liquor, and that calmed them right down. So, I know you're in Kentucky, so you got some moonshine. Just give them a drop or two, and they'll be all right.
I'm afraid if you did that to the vice president over here, it would make he'd be bouncing off the walls, and don't tell him what would happen to him.
I think Ryan has a question for you, Matt.
Yeah, I'm reading that. Ryan, we try to do the best we can to find out where they're feeding and set up on them. Unfortunately, this year, every time I found them, I had a drastic water change, and they would move off to somewhere else. So we ended up, I was chasing them all season. I would find where they were feeding, and the next time I could go hunt, I'd have a water change, whether it would come way up or go way down, and I just never could. I mean, 2 weeks before the season, I had 8 inches of water, about 75 to 100 summer ducks or wood ducks feeding. And when the season opened up, I went from 8 inches of water to 6 feet of water. It's just been a messed up season for me.
And I would say too, Matt, you have a lot of, like where I hunt, I've got 4,500 acres. Man, where you hunt, you've got thousands of acres, and it's all wooded, and you can't see until you get there either. I mean, you can't really, you can't see where the birds are flying.
No.
It'd be very difficult.
Yeah, Ryan, we grinded it out till the last day of the season, of the regular season, and then I had 2 days for the veteran and active duty hunts, which was the 6th and the 13th. And I went this morning. I saw lots of ducks. I mean, I saw more ducks today than I've seen all season, and not just summer ducks. I saw mallards. I saw gadwall. Heard some widgeon. Saw, I don't know, maybe 1,000 ringnecks this morning flying high, but they were all high birds and not workable. And plus it was pouring down rain, and they knew where they were going and did not want to be where I was at, period. I tried. Oh, and I saw a bunch of teal too, both blue wing and green wing. So this time of year, seeing blue wing at 38 degrees in the pouring rain was a treat. They just didn't want to have anything to do where I was at, period.
Do you think, Matt, that this big cold spell that's really basically sweeping the country, do you think that really finally pushed a lot down?
I think it was a combination of that. And, Cody, we talked about this when you were here. We have so many of these private impoundments. And I'm not knocking down private versus public. I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of private impoundments. And these guys, they work hard to manage the ducks. I may not fully agree on some of the management tactics, but what man has his property, can do what he wants to on it. And just because I don't agree doesn't mean anything. I just don't agree. But they were shooting them this morning. They had a lot of youth hunts. There was a federal youth day. A lot of youth. There was some serious shooting going on. And I think it was a combination of both this massive cold front and them shooting those ponds. We got those birds working. And I'm pretty sure that the majority of the birds I saw had been here for a while and knew where to go and where not. They knew where the safe zones were. So that's what I'm thinking.
I do believe we got a push after seeing as many mallards and stuff this afternoon.
Yeah.
And snows. I mean, like I said, they shot that Ross, and then there was a blue phase, and because our goose season actually ends tomorrow or Monday, and that's just we don't see any snows here hardly. I mean, you might see a few every now and then, but it's like they're like 5,000 miles high and just passing through real quick. So then all the mallards. I mean, we see mallards on every pond we drove by today.
I mean, I didn't see thousands. I didn't see hundreds of mallards, but I did see a lot of mallards. And I mean, the gadwall, good Lord, the gadwall were everywhere. Again, I just could not get them. I know they weren't seeing me. I know none of these birds were flaring. They just knew where they wanted to be, and I couldn't do. I was trying to traffic them, and I just couldn't pull them in. Prepping 101, how you
doing? Real quick, I just want to say a big thank you to when Prepping 101 can hear me for helping out my buddy Matt. That's greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated.
Looks like Backwoods is going out. I just thank you for getting into the conversation with us. That's pretty good.
Appreciate it, Backwood.
What? Prepping's got a question for you, Matt.
Yep, it's doing pretty good. I think 962, 963, somewhere in that. The last time I looked, I haven't looked at it tonight, but that's where I'm at. And we're just going to keep plugging, man. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. And I appreciate, like Cody said, I really appreciate what y'all did. I'm still in kind of shock and awe over it.
He was calling me and texting me like a 15-year-old girl in school for about 3 or 4 days afterwards.
I got a call the next morning, I think, from him, and it was like, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, 2-hour phone call. It was fun. Yeah.
What talking about turkeys a little bit, Jay, do you mind kind of talking about when you're looking for turkeys in Kentucky? Now, I've never hunted out of Minnesota. I guess I hunted Wisconsin, but what do you look for there when you're looking for turkey? When you're looking for birds, what are you looking for as far as habitat for them there?
Well, when I was in high school, we had no turkeys. We didn't have a season, and they started releasing them, I think maybe my senior year. I never did hunt turkey until, gosh, I was probably a junior in college. And they started out here just a half a day, and then the Kentucky River splits our county. And so only one side of the river you could turkey hunt on for a half a day. And then it went both sides, and now it's everywhere. And I'll be honest with you, there's turkeys in every field you drive by. I mean, it don't matter. There's no, I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason, I guess. Like you can go to big woods. There's going to be turkeys there. Like my dad, we got some on that farm. Some cornfields that one was chopped for silage, the other we picked. All of a sudden, there's turkeys everywhere, and we really never did see them there a whole lot the last few years. But I was by there today, and there was like 6-7 gobblers out in the field, and at one time we counted, I think, 60-something turkeys in that field. And then actually where I live, we got pasture out by my house. There's turkeys there. As far as looking for certain kind of habitat, they're everywhere now. I mean, it don't matter where you go, you're going to see turkeys.
Okay.
And it is a big success story for our fish and wildlife. And, kind of same with our deer population too. The first time I ever hunted deer, first time I ever saw a deer in my county was, I think I was in the 8th grade. And it started releasing them. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have turkeys here growing up either. I think about 2010, I think they started releasing them up in my neck of the woods, and they've done really well, but they really stick to like gravel ridges and those high points, and they don't venture real far from there. Wherever you have kind of a ridge, you'll find some, and they love like cattle pastures and like things like that, and they like, of course, when they're strutting and stuff, they like them last year's hay fields that are cut, that are shorter. They love to be out strutting in those, and cattle pastures also. So, and you have Eastern there, right?
We didn't.
Yes, we got the Eastern.
We didn't. I mean, they restocked turkeys in our state as well. And after they did it, I didn't turkey hunt. I was probably in my early 30s before I started turkey hunting. Really just didn't know anything about it, and I got an invite to go, and I went that morning and shot my first. It was a Jake, but it was my first turkey, and I've been hooked ever since. And you talk about what you're looking for. Well, preferably, I'm going to look for water. The turkeys are going to roost over water here. And so I'm going to look for a river or a swamp, and, whether it's open woods, pines, or even hardwood, or a field close by, because that's where they're going to go. They're going to come off that roost. They're going to hit the ground, and they're going to go straight to that field. And so that's what I'm looking for.
And what kind of style you guys hunt? Are you blind or are you running gun?
I do not have a blind. I try to run and gun if I can. The one place that I hunt a lot, I only have about 25 acres. And so there's not a lot of running and gunning. It's finding an open spot, setting a decoy down, get hid, and wait. And just wait. That particular track, I have never heard a bird gobble, ever. And I've killed 5 big gobblers off of it. But the problem is we've got a lot of coyotes, and the neighbors in the area let their dogs run. And these turkeys, they wised up. They're not going to gobble. They're not going to make any noise. And the gobblers are going to roost very, very close to the hens, very close, because they're not going to gobble to try to find, and the hens, I mean, even the hens don't make noise, which is, very unusual. You're always hearing a hen, and never. Now,
the one farm that you guys are going to be on when you come down here, it's about 350 acres, and we do it's fun to run and gun because they'll gobble all day. You can, a lot of the time, there's some days they don't, but you'll have just as good a chance at 4 o'clock in the afternoon as you did at 7:30 in the morning.
Right. Now, generally speaking, what's the weather like there during that time of year?
Most of the time it's pretty warm. It's, you might get up in the morning and be sweatshirt weather, but by midday you're in t-shirt. Now, I guess it was 5 years ago, it snowed on us, which is kind of odd.
Right.
And it was, but then it was a couple of days before we did our Wounded Warrior hunt, and I had one of the guys that had been with us for a while, and he come on in a little early, and we got snowed on like crazy. The ground get white, but then it melted off, and then by the time the Wounded Warrior hunt started, we were like in the 80s. So one of those weird,
Yeah.
Kentucky weather. If you don't like it, wait 2 or 3 days. It's gonna change.
Yeah. South Carolina weather, if you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. It just changes.
Just in regards to the statement that Mark J. Larson just put out, what are your bird sizes generally?
You're looking somewhere, 20 to, I'd say 25, 22, 20, somewhere in that range is probably average 22. And it's funny, like here, you'll around here, you'll have a lot longer like spurs, but some of the places where it's a little rockier, it's like they get wore down more and they won't be as long. But here, spurs. Yeah, I'd say 22, 23 is probably average.
I'd say that's probably about what it is here too. I would say we shot 5 turkeys last year between all of us, but we took a couple in the fall season, so we got a small Jake and a hand too. But my wife shot the biggest one, of course, and I tried to top it, but I couldn't. She got a bigger one than I did. So,
and the good thing about here, their season is actually you get 2 gobblers in the spring, a beard, a visible beard is legal, so a hen, or a Jake, and then you get our fall season. I think you might be allowed 5 per person, somewhere in there. You're allowed 2. I think 2 with the gun. Yeah, 2 with the gun and maybe 3 with the bow. It might be 4 that we're allowed.
wow.
And then they have 2 gun seasons in the fall, and then bow season runs from September, like the 5th, 6th, 7th, till January 15th.
Do your birds become a lot more difficult to hunt in the fall than they do in the spring? Or
I've killed quite a few. I almost think sometimes it's a little bit easier in the fall, because we can shoot hens in the fall too.
Mm-hmm.
But you bust them up and do that kiki run, and then a lot of times it's more like you can kind of pattern where they're going to be and just be sitting there waiting on them when they come down off the roost or catch them crossing.
That's probably my favorite way to turkey hunt is ambush. I love it.
Yeah, if you can sneak up on one, you're doing some.
Well, what I did is I tried to figure out their routes and their paths, and then I set up where I thought they were going to walk, and I shot that one at 7 yards. So it did work out, and this spring I want to try. I don't know if you ever heard of a turkey reaper.
Yes,
I'm going to try that this spring. So we'll see how that works. I want to try get one like right at the end of my barrel. I want to try get one real close. So
we had at one of our Wounded Warrior hunts, one of the guys, he was doing that, and he got up, and there was like 10 gobblers and Jakes. They were all mixed in, come in, and they were maybe he could have slapped them. And his hunter, I guess he got pretty tore up because he shot 3 times and not one turkey fell.
Oh, too close. Too close.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you on your legalities? What's the largest size shot you can use?
I'm not for sure on that. I'd have to look into it. I think I use like a 5s. I think
that's what I use.
But I'm not really paid much attention to it. But I do know I swear by them the Longbeard XRs. After last year, we kind of slipped around on one, and I ranged it with a rangefinder after I shot him. It was 60 yards and dropped him. So I'm a big fan of those. Go ahead, come here. You got somebody who wants to say hi to you.
All right. Well, Joel.
Yeah,
well,
that's Joel.
You got to get in the video.
He just did his hand real quick. He's off to somewhere else now. He's kind of. Oh, here he comes back. He says he's going to be in the video. Get over here.
All right, put him in front of the camera. Hey, buddy.
Now this is. Let's see here. This is the one that talks to you every time you're live, like screaming at the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see me now. You can hear me. I can hear you. Take care.
So he another fan of Matt's.
That's so funny. He was telling me he was screaming and thinking I could hear him.
Yeah. Whenever Matt's live, he's screaming at the computer, and usually I'll have to send him a message like, "You need to say hi," so he'll be quiet for a minute.
What kind of artillery are you using for turkeys?
Hey, Jeremy.
What's that?
What kind of shotgun are you using for turkey?
I got a Stoeger M3500, and then I also got the 870. The Stoeger, it's a 3.5, and then the 870, which has been robbed by this guy. He took it over. That's what I was using, and mullet man here. But the Stoeger, and a story behind that is one of the guys I met through the Wounded Warrior hunts we did, and he actually moved here, lives about 4 houses down, rents from my wife's granddad. He was going through some tough times, and I kind of helped him out a little bit just because we were good buddies. It wasn't, he shows up one day and he hands me this. He said, "This is your gun," and I said, "I ain't taking your gun." He said, "I ain't taking it back." So I got. That's how I got that gun. So it means a lot. It means a whole lot to me. I'm a big fan of that. For like I shot that gobbler this past spring with that.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan of that.
What are you using, Matt?
I haven't quite decided what I'm going to bring yet. I have yet to kill a turkey with a 20 gauge, so I may bring my 1100, but I will always bring my brown and silver 12 gauge. That's usually the gun. I have a Benelli that I was hunting with. As a matter of fact, I took it out to duck hunt with it this year, and I'm having some injection issues, and I got to figure out what's going on with it. So, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with it. So, but I got a Benelli Super Black Eagle that with a 26-inch barrel, and I like that short barrel, especially around here because our woods are so thick, and I can swing it a whole lot faster. But I don't know yet. I've yet to shoot one with a 20 gauge, so that might be it's like you shooting a bear with a pistol, which makes no sense.
See, the way our season runs, like it's going to come in April the 17th, I guess this year. It'll run till about the second weekend in May, I think, or somewhere around in there. So when we start the season, the grass is ankle high and the woods are wide open, and then by the time the end of the season, you'll miss turkeys because the grass will be so tall. They'll be slipping through it. So that might be there everywhere, but I know that's. And we seem like we keep getting. In March, we'll get like one big heavy snow, melts off real quick, and then it turns. Here the last 3 years, and then it just turns hot. Oh, and then the grass grows so quick lately. Which is good if you're feeding cattle and that grass coming on pretty quick when the hay is getting thin. So.
It is going to be quite the experience. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And you'll probably we'll probably do a coon hunt too.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because I don't know if my wife, she's a hospice nurse, so she's on call right now. She's busy, so she ain't going to hear this. But we're probably in the next few days there might be a red bone hound just happened to show up here.
Oh wow!
So
I hope there's a video on that when she finds out.
Yeah, well, there might be of us sleeping in the doghouse, with
that. Are you running out of the house with the camera strapped to your back?
Yeah. She probably can run faster than me, so
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Josh, we went the other night, and the boy we went with has a pretty nice female that he said he was going to give Josh. So cool. We might end up with one.
So, I have not formally been introduced to your boys, so I'm not sure on all the names.
Okay. Well, I might not get them right. I might not get them right either because there's like kids everywhere here. This one right here, Josh. That's Josh.
Hey, Josh. Nice to meet you.
Jake. That's Jake.
Jay.
And then you seen Joel. And then we got Brindley, Beth, and Bailey. Bailey is my oldest daughter, so she's there's Joel sticking his face in there.
Hey, Joel.
But Bailey, she's getting married March the 27th, so
okay.
That hurts. But he's a good guy. So and then Brindley and Beth. Brindley's usually she runs the camera a lot, but now this year turkey season, she says she's turkey hunting. So
cool.
Yeah, I was overseas, and I think in Iraq. I think I was in Iraq at the time, and I was going to be coming home, and my wife, when I got home, I mean, I hadn't even gotten off the airplane good, and she told me that that I needed to talk to Alex, who is my daughter's husband. And so I called him up, told him I was home, and he wanted me to meet him. And we went out and had something to eat. And of course, and he asked me if he could, if he could marry Amy. And I didn't tell him right away. And I said, I'll tell you what, come by the house tomorrow. And I left. I got up and walked away. And got my truck and went home. And everybody, well, what'd you say? I said, I didn't say anything. He's supposed to meet me tomorrow. And he came by the house the next day, and I took him outside to the shed, and I pointed in the corner of the shed, and I said, what do you see over there? He said, well, I see a shovel.
It's currently cloudy and 39 degrees.
Well, goodness, Siri.
And cloudy skies start.
He said, well, I see a shovel. And I said, what else? He said, well, I see an axe. And I said, well, what color are they? And he said, well, they're camouflaged. I said, all right. So I walked out. I said, you see that boat over there? He goes, yeah. I said, what color is it? He said, it's camouflaged. And I had an old Jeep Cherokee. And I said, what do you see over there? He said, that's the Jeep Cherokee. I said, what color is it? He said, it's hand-painted camouflage. And I looked at him, I said, you're right. How many 40-year-old rednecks that's got everything he owns is camouflage? You hurt my daughter. And he's a good boy. Don't get me wrong. He's a good boy. But then I gave him my blessing. But it's just the daddy in you. And I had to tell him that. So little bit of advice, Cody, for later.
The boy that's I told my daughter if she ever got married that his whoever the boy was, he better get my permission. He did, and we had a good talk and stuff. And then actually one of the guys that was first with us at our very first Wounded Warrior, been with us the whole time, and y'all meet him. And he kind of started. Bailey was my oldest daughter, was very young when we started this, so he's watched her grow up. And I was telling him about being married, and he goes, "Do I need to come down and have a talk with him?" Because he's an Army Ranger, big old just. I said, "Well, he's a pretty good guy, but I am going to tell him that you wouldn't mind to leave in the middle of the night to help me, hide a body." He goes, "I'd be there in a heartbeat." So,
I know a lot of places in the swamp. I'm just saying.
so but my the boy that's married, he's super, super guy. So I couldn't have asked for a better future son-in-law.
I can't either. I mean, I really do. What's that?
So Cody, you got a daughter then?
I have a daughter. Yep.
How old?
Be 10 in June.
Oh wow, you got the teenage years coming. Oh.
I sure do.
Slamming doors for like you come in, you go, "Hey, how are you today?"
Slam.
Slam. Wow.
Well, that's where I started. And she has
I got two more times. So.
She's has a personality and stubbornness like I do. So I'm gonna probably get all the payback that my parents had and more.
The thing I've learned about having 3 boys and 3 girls is I can tell the boys no, they'll say okay, they might turn around and do it right then. I can tell my daughter, and there's like 8 hours of drama. Why won't you let me do this? So, but the boys, okay, Dad, I'm good. And then they'll turn around and do it anyway, or might. So that's the big difference I found.
Y'all got to forgive me. I got a old yellow lab down here wanting attention all of a sudden.
So, what were the, I know you've told me like 3 times, but I've got so much going on that I can't remember everything, and I write stuff down and I forget where I put it. What were the official dates again?
Oh, let's see. I think it's the 21st is the day that we will, let's see, make sure. Yeah. The 21st, that's when all the guys will arrive, and then we'll hunt the 22nd and 23rd and kind of close it up. It looks like Joe figured it out. The Bicknell bunch is like the Brady bunch. Yep. There's a lot of kids here. So, yeah, that's
speaking of which, Jay, my son said thank you.
Okay.
And we're probably going to be a couple of days early.
Yeah.
We'll probably get there. I think the 19th is the Monday, and we'll probably get there sometime that afternoon.
Okay.
More than likely, just to get out, get away.
Right.
And I'll probably, I got a 17-hour drive, so I probably will. I'd like to be there a day before and a day after, if that's okay, to just do some extra things and hang out with Matt a little bit. I just admitted that publicly.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. It is in the internet forever and ever. Amen.
Right.
So I just I got some kids that are like hitting me up because my wife, she's a hospice nurse and she's on call, and I got some kids that are telling me that they're starving. So it's time for me to. I hate to leave good company, but time for me to go make some food.
That's not a problem. We've been going on for almost 2 hours now, so it's a good time for a.
And Josh wanted to say something. What do you want to say?
Go ahead, Josh.
Huh? Yeah, and then here's Brinley.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
But I guess I'm going to jump off here and go make some food for all these crazy heathens.
All right.
I hear you, brother.
Thank you very much.
I will see you all later.
Tell your cousin we said thanks.
I will do it.
All right.
I can't wait for turkey season. See y'all.
He said, "Can't wait to see y'all." See you guys later.
See ya.
Be good. Well, bud, I think I'm going to call it a night. I got some things I'm still trying to get done. I'm still trying to dry out. I got all my camera stuff on a table behind me, drying off.
Right.
That's how, and I had everything in waterproof, but it's still wet. Yeah, it was nasty. So, all right, Liv,
Yeah.
thanks for coming in. I appreciate everybody coming in and listening to us chat and talk. Kind of unusual tonight. I usually talk to the chat room, but tonight was a little bit different. This was about the Comaraderie Rescue Mission. We're going to try to do some more live streams on this as we get closer.
Probably try and you know what we should do is we should get Greg to do like a little interview like that again, and have him send us each a copy, and then make a video about what we're doing.
Yeah,
put it out there, because I think it'll get more exposure than people will in a live stream. You know,
right.
So I think that if we could do that, that would be a great idea, and get get that going on.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, like I said, thanks for everybody who came in tonight. I will be doing another live on Monday night. That's my usual live night, so I'll be here again Monday night.
I might have a wild hair tonight. Maybe go live around 10, 11 o'clock or something. Maybe, I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying this chatting with people type of thing. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
I will be asleep here in about 40 minutes. I've been going strong since 2:30. So
I can imagine that. So, but we'll have to when we get down there too. If we're going to be there a day early, we will have to try do something too when we're there.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
But okay. Well.
All right, man. Thanks Mark. Thanks, y'all have a good one, and we'll see y'all next time.
See ya.